So this matches up with what was in the 911 call. If you haven't had a chance to hear the 911 call, you can listen to that and hear the person who is calling talking about a couple of things. One of those things is how the ankles were bound with tape, if I recall correctly. And so that's why you see in the search warrant listed here that's available here on Reddit about we're looking for tape. And then tape is what we got. Yeah. Ruby Franke was a vlogger. She was a YouTuber, had a channel with her husband and her 6 kids, showing their life, just showing their life. And I think for a while, everything was fine. But then at some point in time, as she was showing her parenting style and how she would parent when her children did something wrong or made choices that were not in the best interest or what Ruby wanted, then her decision regarding how to parent based on that was sometimes questioned by viewers. And so now you have this situation where you've got these charges that are going forward.
Ms Legalista here, aka Attorney Shelia. We're going to be looking at the search warrant for Ruby Franke, and let me share this with you. I'm actually going to get this from Reddit because that's the only place I've been able to find this. This has been it's been hard pulling up some of the documents relating to this. So let me switch sides here because I actually prefer myself on the other side when I'm looking at this. I sound really bad this morning. Let's get this show right. Show this tab instead. This is me working through StreamYard to give you the best appearance up here so that I can look professional, like I know what I'm talking about. And it's the morning and I am fresh and ready to get started. This is coming out of the 5th District Court, St. George Department in and for Washington County, state of Utah. So we're going to look at this search warrant. Affidavit for search warrant. We have our undersigned affiant Sergeant Nicholas Tobler of Santa Clara, Ivins Police Department, upon oath or written affidavit subscribed under criminal penalty, declares, let's just go down here, on the premises known as, further described as a Southwest style home. The home sits on a corner lot and faces with a number posted on the side of the driveway. The home is dark brown in color and has a decorative rock affixed around the front entry. The home has a dirt rock driveway that leads off of and up to the driveway. So here's the thing, this is going to have this defined information in here about the location. So this is what they have in here to make sure that when they go search the premises with this search warrant, that they have the right address. We have all heard about the instances where the wrong property was, I don't know, the wrong property is what they went into. On the person described as Jodi Hildebrandt, date of birth you see there, on the items described as property used in the commission of a criminal offense of child abuse in the city of Ivins, County of Washington, state of Utah. All right, let's see what we have here. There is now certain property or evidence described as any and all rope used to bound the victim, duct tape, style tape used to bound or cover wounds from being bound by rope, plastic or shrink wrap used to cover injuries, or any other items used to bound or cause bodily harm to an individual, or consistent with the criminal charge of, and you see what the criminal charges are there, any other victims that could be suffering located inside the home. So this is the evidence that they are looking for, this kind of property or evidence. Let's see if I can make it back to page 2 here. Was unlawfully, and again, this is from Reddit, so I want to thank whoever was able to pull together these documents and get them so that we're actually able to look at them and talk about them now. Was unlawfully acquired or is unlawfully possessed, has been used or is possessed for the purposes of being used to commit or conceal the commission of an offense, or is evidence of illegal conduct. All right, so here is the crime that they have listed here on another video. I'm actually going to do the information which has the counts that Ruby has been charged with. I am employed by the Santa Clara Ivins City Police Department and have been since 2010. I am assigned to the patrol division as a sergeant. I graduated post and have a basic knowledge of alcohol, drug, and street level crimes, and that's their training. I was assigned to the investigation division and served as a detective for approximately 5 years. I have participated in numerous investigations, and you can see there the different types: property, person, etc. I have attended and completed an advanced investigation class, you see there, and a crime scene academy where I received advanced training in crime scene investigations, evidence collection, and processing. All right. On August 30th, 2023, officers responded to a report, and this is not my note over here. Again, this is from Reddit. I'm on the Reddit website. On August 30th, 2023, officers responded to a report located in Ivins. Upon arrival, officers found that had duct tape, and we've got some redacted items here, had duct tape around their ankles and appeared to be emaciated because the victim was abnormally thin and weak. Medical personnel removed the duct tape and located open wounds. The victim informed officers and medical personnel that the wounds were from the rope that was used to tie the victim to the ground. The victim informed officers that Jodi put the ropes on their ankles and wrists and that they used cayenne pepper and honey to dress the wounds. The victim told the officer that 2 other siblings were in the home when this person left. And then you see the ages there, which are redacted. Officers identified Jodi as Jodi Hildebrandt and found that she resides around the corner from where victim was located. Jodi Hildebrandt's address is in Ivins. Officers responded to the residence and conducted a protective sweep to ensure no other individuals were in need of emergency medical attention. During the sweep, officers located 1 juvenile who was reluctant to speak to officers. The other juvenile has not been located. Officers identified a possible safe room in the basement that is locked, and it is unknown if anyone is inside. I'm requesting a search warrant to obtain any and all evidence relating to and to access the possible safe room to determine that there, I think, are or were or something's missing there, no other victim inside. So that takes us to page 3 now. Wherefore your affiant prays that a search warrant be issued for the seizure of said items in the daytime. I declare under criminal penalty that the foregoing is true. Let me backtrack. And this is taking a while because I'm actually having to go back to the original Reddit post, forward it, and then click on it to make it big and then share it. So that's why you're seeing me look like I'm struggling here. It's because I am. All right, search warrant. Okay. So this is pretty much the same thing that we just saw. I don't think there's a whole lot different there. There are 12 pages of this. So let me just go through here and see if there's anything else that's different. Let's go to page 6, this page. I think this might have something that we might want to see on it. All right, so page 6 here, return to search warrant. The personal property listed below or set out on the inventory attached here too was taken from the person of Jodi Hildebrandt by virtue of a search warrant dated August 30th, 2023. All right, let's see what they took. Scott's tape and saran wrap, miscellaneous papers and sticky notes, journal, a bowl containing a red liquid with a metal spoon, 2 super absorbent dressings, Coban bandage, I don't know what kind of bandage, I don't know how you pronounce that, bandage and 2 white ankle socks, and then that again, a bowl containing a red liquid with a metal spoon, a brown and white rope, black book, a brown and white rope, brown and white rope, 2 handcuffs, and 3, I don't know what that is, miscellaneous paperwork in a blue folder. And then it says, this sergeant, it says, I do swear that the above listed and below attached inventory contains a true and detailed account of all property taken by me under warrant. And of course, it will be retained in custody subject to that court order. Let's go to page 7. So now we have a listing of some of, well, what was taken that day. Let me talk about that for just a second here. So this listing sounds like it's in direct response to what was said in the 911 call. I'm going to go into that in another video. But what we're looking at here is the tape rope. Notice it matches up exactly to what they said they were looking for, things that might have been used to bind a person. So they took tape, they took rope, and some paperwork. It sounds like they took some paperwork also too. So this is the one, and I should have gone over the other one. Let me go back to the other one for just a second, just in case. So yeah, that one kind of had the same thing. This one is the one that gets a little different. So I am going to go over this one. This one gets a little different. We start talking about cell phones and things. All right, much bigger for us here. Let me scroll down. We already know all that about the house and everything. There is now certain property or evidence. Here's what we're looking for. Any and all cell phones, audio recordings, computers, tablets, laptops, surveillance footage, doorbell cameras, and any other communication device used to send text message or email or any other audio visual communications. There's that. Next page, let's see, page 8 here. Okay, which pretty much says the same thing as we saw before, except we now have a piece about the mother. We're going to scroll down, scroll down to this part at the bottom. Again, pretty much this piece is pretty much the same here. We've seen that part. But now let's go down to this bottom part. A search warrant was served on the home during which officers found that the victim's mother, Ruby Franke, had left her 3 children in the care of Jodi Hildebrandt. Officers also found that Jodi Hildebrandt has posted several posts on social media and YouTube channels where she discusses mental health and family therapy. I'm requesting a search warrant to obtain any electrical device and or communication device from Jodi Hildebrandt's person and residence to obtain any possible communications between Jodi Hildebrandt and Ruby Franke. Also to obtain any possible videos or audio recordings that would have caught any abuse or injuries sustained from that. Okay. All right. So now this is where we're finally seeing moving beyond just the binding and what they saw as a result of this 911 call. But now it's, well, we actually are going after the electronics now. This is pretty much what this one is. Let me go to the next page. Let's see if I can remember what page. Okay, so I'm on page 8 now. We're going to head over to page 9, which really just sort of wraps it up. Seizure of those items in the daytime. Now let's go to 10, which pretty much says the same thing about the laptops and pieces there. And then let's get to the return to search warrant page that lists what was taken here. So this is the tab I'm going to show now. Again, this is coming from Reddit that we're taking a look at. This is sort of breaking this down. Let's go through all of these pieces here. All right, the personal property listed below or set out on the inventory attached here too was taken from the person of Jodi Hildebrandt. All right, here we go. Ruby, okay, so I guess they kind of spelled her name wrong there. By virtue of a search warrant dated the 30th of August, 2023. All right, let's see what we've taken here. An Apple MacBook Pro, an Apple iPhone, an Apple MacBook, an Apple MacBook, an Apple MacBook, those, I guess, are serial numbers, an Apple iPhone, another Apple MacBook. I don't have that many Apple MacBooks at my house. Yeah, so that that's everything appearing here in that list. And I'm wondering if I missed something that talked about the cell phones, because I had seen some comments about cell phones, but I'm not seeing it listed in this particular document that's been provided here on Reddit. We've got the bandages and those sorts of things, and then as you just saw, the laptops mostly is what that was. All right, so that sort of helps us understand a lot of what they were picking up in the house. They will then go through those computers, all of those MacBooks. Hopefully that brings you up to speed to this part of the warrant and what they were looking for and what they actually took when the warrant was completed. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and peace.